and welcome back at another tutorial about the Korg Pa5X. Today we are going to take a look at how to use the Pa5X as a solo piano keyboard. When you are into those intimate piano sessions where you feel like you're one of the people in that room, then you can use some tricks to create that ambience on board of the Korg Pa5X. So when you play solo piano normally on the Pa5X, then all the sounds are rather dry with some reverb, but it fits perfectly in the styles of the Korg Pa5X. But now we want to create our own solo piano pieces and have some feeling, because it's all about inspiration when you play. So let's fire up one of my own piano sounds, and at the end of the video we are going to take a look at how to create a similar piano in the factory sounds, but let me show you what I mean. So we load up a felt piano. A felt piano is basically a normal piano where the attack of the hammers is dampened by a felt layer between the hammer and the strings. And it is a perfect sound for those intimate piano solo pieces. So something like so very nice, very warm, but it doesn't really inspire me, and that is basically because it misses the ambience to give me a certain feeling by improvising all kind of piano pieces. So luckily we can add a specific ambience really easy. I use the player 2 for this, and what I do is I add some rain or room noise or talking in a cafe in the player 2, and I just let it run for minutes and play on top of that, and that gives me the feeling of playing actually in that ambience. So let's load up an audio style for this. So we go to song mode, and I have some audio tracks in the folder audio tracks, rain, SAL3 room noise, and a talking MP3. And I sampled these from the Native Instruments Noir piano instrument, which is absolutely insane. That is a fantastic piano. But I sampled the effects only so that I can use it on the Pa5X. So when we add the rain and we hit the play button, there is some ambience now created for me, and I can play on top of that rain. You hear it over here now, and you can set the level of it with the 8 fader to your liking. So I like it a little bit soft, so I set it to 55, 54, yeah, 55. And when I play now, it blends perfectly with the rain. Maybe it's even a little bit too loud. Let's make it a little bit lower. And if I want to have some room noise, I add some noise intentionally now to the piano, so it feels now like I'm listening into a room with that piano sound. So if you play a song, so it adds a lot to that room. And for me this is really inspiring to hear some ambience noise and play on top of it. We can also do some talking, like in a cafe. You're basically the cafe player. So really nice. But my most used one is the rain, and that's basically because it gives me that really intimate sphere. So let's try it. So a lot more atmosphere than when you play it dry. So just by adding that simple audio file, it adds a lot of that atmosphere. So how do you create these felt pianos? It's not that hard. Let's go to the factory sets, select the Austrian Grand, and now we are in that Austrian Grand menu, and we have the Austrian Grand piano. Way too bright, so we have to modify that. Well, first we are going to disable the upper two. We don't need all the effects. We just want the piano, and we are going to change this piano to a different one. And go to page 7 and take the German warm grand. That's a nice piano for the felt pianos to start with. So way too bright. So the first thing we have to do is to remove all the high end in the warm grand. So press the menu button, go to track controls, and lower the cutoff to -64. And now we have removed all that high end. Don't worry about all those annoying frequencies, we are going to remove that. So much darker sound now, and we have to clean up the sound. So let's go to the mixer. We have the upper one selected, and we are going to add an insert FX for that. So first let's colorize the sound. Set an EQ by pressing the IFX1 button and select the stereo 6-band EQ, and we are going to use the low pass filter over here. You can see the graph that it removes it from the top end, and we are going to remove some extra signals from the top end. Yeah, 1.80 is nice. And now we are going to listen which frequencies are annoying. Well, around 400 or 500 Hertz, I think. So we are going to use band 3 for this. So we are going to use the sweep trick, set the gain to the maximum, set the Q factor as narrow as possible so that we isolate the frequencies. And we are going to play the notes until we hear those annoying frequencies pop up in these in the sound palette. This one is really annoying, so we are going to lower the Q factor to also influence the frequencies around it. Set it to 6 and add, well, -8. Yes, it's gone now, and we also hear that it's way too much muddiness in the low end, so remove some of that too and set that to around 200 Hertz. So that's a nice piano. You can add a little bit more high if you want. Yeah, that's maybe a little bit better for this demo. Okay, so now we have that standard piano sound. but we want to tailor the room, and we have an overlap on top of it. We can disable the chorus. So when it's completely dry, so let's add a room reverb for this. And the room reverb is a very powerful reverb, and you can find it in the reverb section, and we add it to IFX2, and we select this specific reverb. And basically what you are doing here is that you can create your own room where you play in. So the best way to design your room is to hear only the room characteristics and set this one to the maximum. So to the wet. Now we only hear the room. So we are going to exaggerate that, set it to 3. And you hear that there's a lot of low frequencies going through it, so we are going to remove that. Set this one to mid-low and remove as much as possible so that it gets a lighter room feeling. Yeah, that's way better. Now you only hear the artificial reverb pattern. And now you have the, well, set this one to 78. Let's swing the EQ a little bit more. Yeah. Now we can tailor the room, and we have an ER level, early reflections level. Now lower that one. Set the reverb level a little bit less. The high damp, I want some extra high notes because I've already removed a lot of the high end. Better. And the pre-delay, how much is it from the wall? This is nice. Yeah, this is really nice. And now we are going to lower the reverb time to 2.0, for instance. Yeah, not too, this adds a little bit. Okay, but we only hear the room now. So we are going to say, hey, let's use something like 25% of room reverb on top of my original signal. And you hear it blend through. And we are going to, yeah, use the overlap on top of that. So that means that the room reverbs that we are creating are now blended in the overall reverb of your sound. And when we play it now, together with the rain, for instance, let's listen a little bit to it. So maybe it's a little bit too dark now, but you can easily modify that by adding some cutoff. So that's basically how you do it. So have fun with adding your own effects to the song player and play on top of that. And just experiment a lot with all those effects to get those great pianos. So that you can create also these kind of pianos. So lots of examples, also some chord progressions that you can use to practice along with, and hope this helps, and see you in the next tutorial.